In today's video, we are going to take a look at our 8 dB helium miner antenna and figure out, is it actually worth purchasing and did it make a difference? Before we get too far into this video, I'd love to hear from you guys, the community. Are you helium mining? If you have tried it or you're currently helium mining, how's it working out for you? Profitability good? Are you getting good witnesses, good beacons? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your story about helium and if it has been successful for you. What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the HobbyistMiner channel. Well, going back about 6 weeks ago, we installed the spotminer.com 8 dB antenna. And in today's video, we're going to look at the stats and we're going to determine, is it more profitable? Did it make a difference? And is it actually worth doing and recommending to the helium mining community? Now, everyone's situation is entirely different. So my situation is not the same as yours. So if I install an antenna and then you install an antenna, there is no exact guarantee that we're going to get the same metrics or the same outcome. As you guys know, the helium network is very volatile, has its ebb and flows, and really doesn't have stability, so it's kind of a gamble. So keep that in mind throughout the entire video, that if you go ahead and copy some of the things that I do, there's no guarantee that you're gonna get the same results. Now, hate to be Debbie Downer, totally understand. So today we're gonna take a look and we're gonna see, I went from the 2.3 dB antenna that comes with the MNTD, and I upgraded to the SpotMiner 8 dB antenna. Both of them were in the exact same location, in my attic. Inside the attic though, we mounted everything. We didn't put anything on the outside of the house, but we went as high as we could, and they were both in the exact same location. So in this video, we're gonna jump over to the computer and we're gonna take a look at some metrics. We're going to export the transactions and look at a helium level and see over the first 2 weeks versus the following 2 weeks, which one was more profitable. So let's dive in. Okay, miners, so a few weeks ago we installed, as I mentioned, our 8 dB antenna in our attic in the exact same spot that our previous one was. And my goal with this video is to download the transactions and actually see, did we earn more helium after we installed the antenna versus previously? So I have a random helium miner up in front of us here, and I'm going to show you guys how to download your transactions, which is a nice way to cross compare, because the reporting aspect of the actual Helium Explorer dashboard is very lackluster. So once you have your helium miner up, click on activity, and on the right hand side there's a button that says details. Click details, and then there actually is some verbiage there, and right here it says here, literally the word here. You click it, and now it's going to bring up a handful of different tools. Select FairSpot CSV export. Now our next step is to put in our Helium wallet address. You can get this actually directly from your app. If you go to the bottom and select the wallet address there, the button, and then you can click receive, and it'll show you your Helium wallet address. So enter that in here, and that's going to generate a report for you and actually download it as an Excel CSV. So open that Excel as your next step. Okay, so we have the CSV opened, and I've done two things off camera. The first thing was I deleted columns that weren't necessary for the video. And the second thing that I've done is I've sorted column B from newest to oldest. We're really actually only going to deal with about the last 5 to 6 weeks. So to give you guys a time frame, we're going to look at May 5th to May 19th, which is a 2-week period well before my install date of my 8 dB antenna. Then we're going to look at the 2nd through the 16th, which is over a week after I installed it. We all know that the Helium network is super delayed, so I don't want to have to keep any of that in mind when it comes down to the data that I'm looking at. So let's just look at the 5th through 19th. So I'm going to eliminate everything from this document that is not the 5th of May all the way through the 16th of June. So here's what I did. So I went and removed everything that wasn't within my time frame. So everything you see here in green is actually after my 8 dB antenna was installed. And I wanted to do a full 2-week period for each test. So our first test is going to be from June 16th. And if we scroll down, that's going to go all the way down to the 2nd. So that's going to give us a good time period. But then I took a block in the middle, which is in red, and I'm going to veto that and not use it. And here's why. Because on the first, let me scroll down, the 26th in orange is actually when I installed the antenna. So I don't want to do any information around the install date, just because I don't really know with the way the Helium network works and how delayed things are. So what I did was I actually, if you scroll up from the 6th of June down to the 20th, I just gutted, took that out entirely. So that's going to be our red time period that we're not going to assume anything. So now we're going to go back to May 19th and do a 2-week period there, and that's going to be our before date. So the 19th of May down to the 5th of May is going to be our time period that we were using the 2.3 dB antenna, which is the stock one that comes with the MNTD. So I'm just going to add a space here, and we're just going to put that in gray, and then we're going to come down here. We're going to add another gray as well, and here's what I want to look at. So for the 2-week time period, I want to see, and if you scroll to the top, you can actually see your columns. We want to use with column C, which is our helium. So if we scroll down to column C, we're going to total up everything for that time period, is what we're going to look at. And we're going to auto sum it, and that's going to tell us we made 3.63 helium before we upgraded to our 8 dB antenna in a 2-week period. It's actually pretty dang good. So now let's scroll back up to the top, and we're going to take now, this is our after time period for column C. So we're going to take go all the way down, and we actually need to add a column here. We're going to put it in gray. We're going to add one more, perfect. And that one's just going to be normal. And we're going to take, now this is our after time period. Now, I know this isn't like perfect science, and there's a lot of other factors that we need to consider before we look at this. Like, did we get more witnesses now that we're on the 8 dB antenna? Did we get more beacons? Did our transmit scale go up? A lot of that stuff just doesn't actually export. It doesn't actually show it, unfortunately. As I said before, the reporting with the Helium network is very lackluster. I would love to see that stuff, because for me, even if our helium didn't go up here, and we'll take a look in a minute, did our beacons go up? Did our witnesses go up? Did it become, more stable? Like, that's kind of really some stuff that is another thing that I just can't account for. So we're going to take our helium amount, and this is for after our 8 dB antenna, and we're going to do auto sum. And let's scroll back down, and we are at 4.34. Okay, so I punched in some numbers, and let's take a look. So before, using the 2.3 stock dB antenna on the MNTD in a 2-week period during May, we did 3.63 helium, which equates to about $40.08. Now, after we installed the 8 dB antenna, we made 4.34 helium in a 2-week period. The difference there is about 0.71. And what does that all come down to? The 8 dB antenna gives us about $7.83 more value with helium with it installed. Now, there's one last factor that I can't account for, and that is network changes. What changes did they make on the Helium network during this kind of 6-week period? The Helium network always has things going on, good, bad, and ugly. So that's something I can't really equate for. Did they change something? Did they adjust something during that time period? We're talking end of May and now more beginning of June time period up till about now. So those are all things to keep in mind. Was it worth it? I'll let you guys decide. Unfortunately, I don't know that you're going to get the same results I do. As you guys know, if you've been following along the Helium project, what I do and what I make in my location may not, and most likely 99% won't match in your location. There's a ton of factors: elevation, witnesses, beacons, transmit scale, all those things that really come into play when we're talking about profitability. That is going to wrap things up for today's video. I have had a blast, guys, with my Helium project. Now, granted, it's been profitable for me. I can't say the same for you. I know a lot of people within the mining community that just cannot put any value and stake into Helium because they've had no luck. Their miner has struggles, relay issues, it makes $0, it struggles to connect to the network, it falls behind. I can't say I've had as many struggles as a lot of people out there. I've been fortunate, but I've enjoyed the Helium project thus far. So, as I said at the top of the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know how things have worked out for you. Good, bad, and the ugly. I would love to hear about it. So what's next for me? So at some point in time, I'm going to have to hire someone to come in with a lift and actually put it at the peak of my roof. I pulled out my extension ladder and it doesn't even go halfway up the height of my house. So I'm really going to need a professional to come in and mount it on the outside of my roof and then tap it into the attic. So that's what is on the agenda at some point in the near future. Meanwhile, I am expanding my helium miners, and I've taken my SenseCap one and actually installed it at my mother-in-law's. She really didn't know. I just kind of plugged it in, said, hey, this is a helium miner, doesn't make any heat. She was okay with that. So that's kind of where we stand. I'm hoping to get my hands on 2 more helium miners, and I want to continue to grow at least my network of helium miners, as so far we've been profitable, which is really, really nice. Well, if you guys enjoyed today's video, give the video one of these, and finally, don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Take care.